There's a little bit with the Freebirds talk before that where they are wearing their makeup, sort of glittery tops. My wife, Liz, she was very much like, do you know what they look like? She said they look like middle-aged women when they've had just too many sort of like free buffet wines and their eyes have got a bit like that and their cheeks are a bit red and they look a bit sort of like licky lips.
Mum's looking for the flip-flops at the after show of the wedding.
They've got
Where's the flip-flops? Where's get the box of flip-flops out.
Film of
I
sweat.
love the Rosa, thank you.
Michael Hayes is wearing lipstick, and this is again new revolution, isn't it?
Hot.
It's a new revolution. How do you look young?
What
do the kids do in 1990? They would wear eyeliner and lipstick. That's a real sort of thing about. I don't understand the younger generation with their lipstick and their eyeshadow.
What did they do when we were kids? It was 70s glam rock. Just put that. Just put some lippy on.
Young again.
Put some lip. Young again. Mummy's going out for her date now.
Ain't nothing with four wheels we can't drive. Ain't nothing with two legs we can't ride.
Wow.
What's this got to do with wrestling?
Yeah, why are you riding it as well?
The Freebirds have come to rock the house, if you know what I mean, Steiners. I presume you mean have sex, but
well, yeah, exactly,
I don't understand how it relates to this.
Well, especially because riding is invariably the woman does that to the man in a straight relationship between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
So, like, they're going to be riding.
Yeah, now I think
they're going to be riding the cocks of the other wrestlers.
That's exactly what Michael Hayes wants to get across.
That's what they're trying to get across.
Yeah, I think they actually say ain't nothing with four legs we can't ride. And again, that's even less relatable to what they're doing now.
I'm thinking of a giraffe.
But then you're automatically, aren't you? Just like,
what
couldn't you... A tiger, you wouldn't be able to do a tiger. It'd fucking tear your face off. I mean, and I hate it when wrestlers, they have that sort of, we're doing a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we're talking about sex. Great, why?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
This is already adult enough.
I want superheroes and I want good versus evil.
Yeah.
I don't want someone going, the thing you need to know about me, I am a fully rounded sexual being. Good for you. Good for you. The lighting they have here has improved so much in WCW that what it does is it really shines a harsh light on how cheap the costuming is. Yes. And the material used in the Freebirds costumes, you look at it and it makes me sort of go, ugh, because I can, you know that really crispy material that you get on things you buy in fancy dress shops?
Exactly. It's Smithy's. I've name-checked them before, but Smithy's is a mark. They do better models, but if you're ever wanting to buy a costume, don't buy the cheapest costume. It will always looks awful.
The cheaper version is basically this legally covers what you couldn't argue against, isn't it?
Yes.
The colours are in the right place.
Yeah. If we reduced a picture of you wearing this to 7 pixels, 6 of those pixels will be the right colour.
You cannot say that this isn't the sort of thing that looks like Freddy Krueger's got on in this. You cannot say it isn't.
You cannot say it's not a red and black jumper. You cannot say that.
I don't think, to be honest, that Freddy Krueger, the bastard son of 1,000 maniacs, I don't think he's actually wearing cashmere. So well, excuse me that it's made out of hay. We should say, of course, that Smithy's is an excellent
good
quality.
Great sponsor.
The greatest rock and roll band of all time, the fabulous Freebirds.
The greatest rock and roll band of all time.
Yes.
The fabulous Freebirds. Even when I was young, I thought this was so patently untrue as to make them look ridiculous.
Even as a kid, you were like, yeah, I'm not buying this.
It's just delusional. You can say, I'm the sexiest man. You go, you might believe that. But saying you are the greatest rock and roll band of all time, when you're not even a fucking rock and roll band, it makes you seem simple. You seem really stupid.
And for all you non-believers, you want to see how real superstars live? Well, check out the greatest rock band when we went to Hollywood. Watch this. Fabulous Freebirds and the greatest rock and roll band in the world.
I was watching it, and oddly, the closed captions had come up.
Right.
When you watch it, do you sometimes put on the subtitles?
By accident, yeah. And some of them have been handwritten and they work, and some of them have clearly been auto-generated.
My favourite is this particular line. So the AI has got everything right, 100% through all the bits I was watching.
Yeah.
And it was sort of saying, a rolling fisherman suplex, and that would all be there in the right order and things, and people's names were all right. The first time it glitched is when he said, "We're the greatest rock and roll band of all time," and the subtitles said, "The greatest brackets indistinguishable of all time." Even the AI was not allowing it to happen.
Not buying it.
No. He's partnered here with the sort of fourth Freebird, Jimmy Jam Garvin. He was always working in similar territories as the Freebirds, and I think behind the scenes they all got on really well, which basically means they were drinkers, partiers, libertines.
Yeah. There's nothing that they will not have done.
Exactly. Except probably been a little bit progressive. And they basically, when the other Freebirds, when Terry Gordy was in Japan making huge money and Buddy Roberts was getting old, they brought in Jimmy Garvin to continue this sort of Freebirds thing in NWA. And Jimmy Garvin, you remember Rugged Ronnie Garvin? The one who looked like he sold wet fish in a pub?
Yes, that's the one, yeah.
He is the storyline brother of Jimmy Garvin.
Right.
Actually, he's not the brother. He is Jimmy Garvin's stepdad. So he married... There's only 7 years difference between them. So Ron Garvin married Jimmy Jam Garvin's quite older mum. Rugged Ronnie Garvin is my new dad. Rugged Ronnie Garvin is my new dad.
My new dad with Ronnie Garvin. Put that on fucking Netflix. It's on a big show. Fucking Netflix ballot.
Oh, mate.
I think I'm blowing it with Lola.
God, can you ever just leave me alone?
I'm in your life whether you like it or not. If you want me to go away, you're gonna have to make me. What is wrong with this generation?
The Freebirds, credit to them here, they're doing a lot of dancing and a lot of gimmicks and stuff. And they are doing that for the simple reason that they are in there against the Steiners. And they know that the Steiners do not play gently. Now, the Freebirds are not one of those groups of wrestlers who are going to go in there and really go for it. And there was always a slight thing in Southern wrestling that it was about the emotion and the passion.
Yeah.
And you've got the Freebirds here. The Steiners are from Michigan State University. They're amateur wrestlers. And they come out and they've been to Japan. They've been roughed up over there. And they know that's how you go in. You go in hard. You make it look real. No one's going to think you're a joke. And this coming together of the two eras, the Freebirds find themselves much higher up the card than they probably would have expected, and certainly when they see it's against the Steiners' hopes. I mean, the Steiners, both Steiners go a bit glassy-eyed when the bell rings. And they stop sort of performing to the crowd, and they're just honing in continually, like sharks.
If you're like standing by the ring, the corner of the ring, and you suddenly feel a man's teeth biting your bum, and you look down, and it's that face, and you say, I'm in trouble. He's bit my bum.
There's a point where you go, thank God he's only biting my bum, because if he's biting my bum, that means I'm not landing on the back of my neck. You know, there's the Steiners throughout this, watching it back, there's loads of moments where they're sort of chuckling, and it makes them like something out of a horror film where they just won't stop coming, and they're sort of having fun. And the Freebirds are trying to buy as much time as possible by, I'm going to stamp up and down by the crowd and start shaking my fist. I'm going to get on the turnbuckle and point at them. And you can just see them thinking, this must be 25 seconds. That's 25 seconds there. So what we're working at, we've got to do 20. That's 19. That's 19:35. Okay, doing that. Right, I'm walking over here. That's 19:30. Okay, we're getting it down. And you can see them just go, oh, please don't put me in this. There's some bits where Rick Steiner is throwing clotheslines. And Michael Hayes is doing something I've never really seen before, where normally you get a clothesline, you go down. And Michael Hayes, when he sees the clotheslines coming, he jumps into the air. And he jumps so the clothesline hits him on the chest.
Yeah, so it's not going to hit his throat and kill him.
Yeah.
And he can be flipped over rather than having a planted foot where you might break both of your knees.
Hey, I was just getting you over out there, Rick. You see the way I took that clothesline, really jumped into the air.
Yeah.
He almost got near my precious, delicate throat. The one thing I can't make muscular is my throat. If I take a clothesline in there, it's just like punching through a Chinese lantern. And he'll do it. He told me he was going to do it.
The Fabulous Freebirds are looking very fabulous. Obviously, their eye makeup's lovely. And in the words of the commentary team, I imagine it'd be popular in some parts of San Francisco.
I mean, you know.
I mean, on the nose.
Isn't it? I was
On the
watching a
nose.
promo by Dr. D. David Schultz the other night.
Yeah.
And it's an infamous promo where he calls Hulk Hogan a homosexual.
Right.
It's not actually like that, but he talks about San Francisco as well.
Right.
And he says, I went down to San Francisco looking for a woman. He said, he said, I don't know what I saw. They looked like women, but they weren't women. And Gene Okerlund
says, why are you bringing this up now?
Yeah.
What
Because I'm excited. And I'm
confused and I need to talk to somebody.
Last night was one of the most incredible things that ever happened to me. But Mean Gene is doing the interview and he pisses himself laughing. He had no idea where this was going and he pisses himself laughing. And Dr. D does a great, you know, he was a good talker. He just turns to Gene. He's like, what are you laughing at, Okerlund? Like that. And it's just magic. But
last time I was in San Francisco, I went downtown looking for a woman. You know what I mean? I wanted a woman. I couldn't find no woman. I found a lot of men that looked like women. Now, you, Hulk Hogan, you belong in San Francisco. What's wrong with you, Gene? I'm telling you like it is, baby. You belong in San Francisco. That's your kind of place. That's your kind of people, because you've never had a woman, baby.
But it's funny, San Francisco, again, these people from this
New
age,
York values, California values, it's
Jim
all kind
Ross
of like...
in Oklahoma, obsessed with college athletes, and just constantly in the back of his mind thinking, I know what's going on in dirty San Francisco right now. Dirty. But he is, I mean, you know, Jim Ross is still the voice of wrestling. He's the voice of AEW, you know, and I think, I do think, you know, there's literally nobody come along who can do this just better, you know, and I just think he must be waiting for someone to come along because he's always on the verge of going, looks like a homosexual. Kenny Omega there, we've got my suspicions about him of being the type of guy who hangs around in San Francisco, if you know what I mean. Men dress like women.
It's confusing.
I am going to die soon.
Freebirds got some interesting makeup on, I'll have to say. Yeah. I'm sure it'd be very popular in certain portions of San Francisco.
Like when they came in, they had their lipstick on, they had the rouge on.
Maybe their role model is Harvey Firestone. Torch Song Trilogy or something.
Sometimes in hindsight, you may look back and say, I shouldn't have said that.
Jimmy Jam Garvin, he retires actually in 92. After that, he's like, I don't really see where I'm going from here. And he became a commercial airline pilot. It's nice to see wrestlers...
Became a bird, Mark. I think that's lovely.
He did. And he's free.
And he's free?
He's free of this...
Depending on what his route is.
He has to fly in front of Michael Haynes' cock when Michael Haynes is portraying the cover of his EP. But where there, I said, Michael Haynes, that is the name of my father.
Who has got his cock out once, I guess.
Oh, he must do, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark
Star's going
oddly, and I think it's if there was a wrestler called Mark Hayes.
I thought you were going to reveal something terrible about your dad's penis.
No. If there was a wrestler called Mark Hayes, I would go, he and I are sort of got something in common.
Yeah.
Michael Hayes, until I said it just then, never even crossed my mind.
No.
Really odd.
Right.